Alright guys, so today I actually have something really cool to show. I was messing around with a furnace array, and that'll be included in the world download, and I needed a unloading system for items that was fast enough to handle it, and I don't even know if this is, but I came up with a 1 input 32 output item distribution system. It sucks out items at 160 per second and spits them out at 80 per second. Which is 288,000 items per hour. So this thing is a beast. I couldn't get it to be any bigger than this because you can see the layout is a little different. Yeah, I will be doing a tutorial on this because I think this is really, really cool. And yeah, so this is it in action. It distributes the items almost completely evenly. You can see that'll happen. That's because hoppers and minecarts aren't exactly stable. Like if there weren't droppers here, you would have 3, 4, 5 between all of these. Sometimes you get 2 and 6, but you get an even distribution. Every hopper will get at least 1. So if I throw in just like 3 stacks, you can see they'll all turn on. So yeah, it's super, super fast. Yeah, I don't really know exactly what you use this for. I mean, if you want to just move items really quickly, I mean, this is, what you need, so you can use whatever you want for this. And I'm going to show how to build it right now. Alright, so I'm going to start off with your basic 4x4 area. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because the whole system, if I can place these, you'll note is really kind of 2 of 1. So there are 2 main segments of a 4x4 output kind of linked together with these minecarts on either side. So I'm going to start with one, and then I'll show you how to build that up right up until this final minecart, and then I'll build up the other side in case you want to go for the full 32 output. And so once you get the 4x4 hoppers, you're going to need an ender chest, some kind of rail to place your minecarts on. It really doesn't matter. You're going to need lots of hopper minecarts for this, so get them ready. Piston and redstone block. So you're going to want to start off with just one corner. Now I'll show you how to do 1, maybe 2, and then I'll kind of do the rest off camera because it's a little tedious. I kind of enjoy it, but you want to put a rail with a minecart, pistons on either side, pull out the rail, destroy it, and then push the minecart into the corner. And that's really it. I mean, if you open it up, you can see that it'll distribute 4 each. Now, this is kind of a huge version of my 1 input 4 output. Now I haven't actually done a video on this, but it's included in some others where it's just 1 chest will go into 4 separate hoppers, and I've just chained 4 of these and then 4 more to make one really big system. You'll see each will get 16. So that's it's a cool little system. But moving on, you can do the exact same on the other side. So just put a minecart, pistons, not like that, but like that. Pull it out, and push it in, and push it in, and test it once more. You can see it'll do the same thing. Now for the next ones, I said I was going to skip this, but I realized you have to do it a little bit differently. You won't be able to get the pistons in there because, they're in the way, the extra ender chests. I shouldn't have done that. You just do it 1 block up. So stack up the ender chests so the minecart can get aligned properly. And then from here, do kind of just the same thing. Just push it into the corner, and push it into the other corner, and then go in from the other side and drop it down a block. And I always like to test just to be sure. So yeah, you don't have to do that every time. I'm just checking my builds. I hope I didn't destroy something. Earlier I was spam clicking and griefed my own build. So you just come in from the other side, do this, and pull it out. Don't forget that. And push it into the corner. Now I'm pushing with redstone blocks out of convenience. I guess you could use anything. I'm not sure why you would, but to keep things simple, Alright, so what I like to do is is that okay? Okay, I nudged one earlier and it kind of messed things up on another build. Actually that pink one, I digress, no. So get yourself a block that you can preferably place rails on. I think you only need it for 1 block, but just to keep it simple. And I'm spam clicking like that because I'm using sticky pistons, but just push those blocks in. You can really use almost anything you want, as long as you can put rails on it. And that's it for that bit. Now, what's unique about... Oh, I'm going to need... What's unique about mine as to other systems like this is all of it goes to one single hopper. And that's kind of what allows me to get one chest to bleed into 2 of these. Now, because this area will be going into 4 more hopper minecarts, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of minecarts stacked up just like this, and going from the top, pop them out one by one. So that'll be a 4 in 1. So just do the exact same thing that we've been doing earlier. Okay, so once that minecart is in place, you should do the thing that I forgot to do, which is make a nice pretty block to push in there. I like sea lanterns because they are awesome. And break that, and now you got a block to work with. So that's kind of one done, and I built this like that. So the other one's going to be over here. A little too close for my comfort, but not a problem. So if you want to expand this, now I should mention before I move on that this here is done. I mean, this will go into, let's use a block I haven't used. This should bleed into every hopper, you know, pretty nicely. 5, 3, 4, like I mentioned, this is what you're going to expect. And so that's, you know, that's 16 outputs right there. But we're going to go for the big version, so if you're interested in that, stick around. Okay, so I just got 4 hoppers and I'm setting up the ender chests for the next minecart. And because we already did this, I'm going to cut this all out, but in case you need this guidance, we're just doing the exact same thing we did earlier. Alright, so when you have that done, again, just make pistons facing in the wrong directions, just like me, and then you're going to go back, destroy all of them, including the one you placed correctly, and place it just like that. And you're going to need to grab a block that you can put rails on, thank you. And that's really just for this corner here, but, you know, we got to keep it consistent. And I got rid of my redstone block, genius. Okay. So let's push them in. Okay, so my blocks are in place. Now, I'm not going to get rid of that. Oh, I already have one. So, just going to build this up, going up and up and up, and get my minecart back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pop them out one by one. Is that okay? I think I destroyed one. False alarm. No. Oh, I need my rail. Alright. Pop them out one by one without breaking your minecart. Alright. So I barely have enough room for this. Let's drag that out. Get this piston in place. Using redstone block. Nope. Alright. And the block you want to use. Get rid of that. Okay. So that's 2 right next to each other. Now, how to link them together is a little bit tricky. Of course, I'll walk you through it, but you're going to have to do some very specific things. So, first off, you're going to want to use, cobblestone walls again, but you might notice the hitbox is slightly smaller. You can see it on the edge here. That allows us to get the minecart in just enough to clip that other minecart, the other minecarts rather, and get in there as we need it. So when I mentioned this was probably directional, it's nice to have the rails facing this way, but I think it can work in the other direction. I know that if you can get the minecarts in the proper placing, regardless of your methods, it will work just fine, but for this build I'll be doing it as such. Now this is what I mean by funky. I use glass, I think this might work with glowstone. Anything that doesn't connect with the walls, like it won't make an extra block like if I used redstone blocks it would, because we need that hitbox to remain small. So if you use a glass block, works fine. Push the minecarts into place, get rid of the piston, and you'll note that this should distribute just the same, but with only one chest. So all of these pistons will go into place. So for this next part, you're going to want to go up another block, kind of like we did earlier. Get rid of that. And so this is going to be a little bit trickier, because we're going to want to build it one block higher. It shouldn't be too bad, but let's do it. So 4 minecarts again. I think for a total that's 4, 4, 8, 8. I don't know, 4, 4, 16, 20. So 24 minecarts now. Yeah, I mentioned you're going to need a lot of them. So this is where we're going to want to align the minecart against the wall. Pull that out. Use your glass again, or glowstone, whatever. Push it in. Pop that out. And then you're going to want to go above. Now you need to push this block down. If you don't push it down, you're going to screw up everything. Get that in place, and that is it. So these walls were just guidelines. They're totally unnecessary. Same thing with the ender chests. I wouldn't risk it, but I believe you can just remove them, and as long as you do not touch the minecarts, you should be just fine. Let's grab something like Ho-Ha. No, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. There we go. So it'll unload super fast, and you should have about 8 to 12 in each, it seems. Yeah, works totally fine. So I'm going to have an extra part for this tutorial showing you kind of how to make this. I mean, it's exactly this. If you know how to build this, then goodbye. I've served my purpose, but I'm going to show how to do this because it's I don't know, it's an interesting system. And to be fair, I don't really know that this has too many applications beyond spitting out items crazy fast, which is kind of the only reason I make these, because normal systems like sorting systems with normal hoppers where the item never leaves them, they just aren't fast enough to handle something like this, because as you can see, we've got 32 times 9, so a whole lot of items here. Okay, so you want droppers facing down, hoppers facing into them, blocks back here, and you're going to want this to go out 3 more. 1 extra on the side, block out, another block, and redstone over the top. These should turn on if you were doing the previous testing. If not, then they won't, but when you fill it up, they will. And repeaters just to strengthen the signal, and you should get a lot of clickiness right away. And all of your droppers should work just like that. Alright, and once you get the other side done, you should see something like this. Now there are a lot more items over here because I was testing with it earlier, and so they just got empty. Alright, let's pick up our mess and give it a test. Now, if it doesn't distribute to all the droppers evenly, then you probably bumped a minecart along the way, or if you really didn't, then there might just be some Minecraft glitchiness, but it should look a little something like this, at least based on the way I built it. Alright, so you can see that they all emptied out fairly unevenly. Over here I'm going to show kind of an example of what happens if you don't do that. Now I must have nudged a minecart in here somewhere, I'm not exactly sure why, that's why I rebuilt it over there. But you can see this one right here just, okay, with more items that'll go for a lot longer. But that one seems to get the bulk of the items. Not sure why, but works fine over here. Yeah, that's it for me. 1 input, 32 output. This is the fastest distribution system in Minecraft to date. And yeah, thanks for watching.